Well, good morning, everyone. For me, it's actually daylight outside. I'm running really behind. This morning just been so hectically busy, filling book orders, doing writing, etc., etc. But welcome back. This is Morning Musings, and my name is Don K. Preston. I am the president of Preterist Research Institute of Ardmore, Oklahoma, and I'm giving, in response to viewer request, a thumbnail sketch of Covenant Eschatology, all three futurist views of the last days, coming the Lord, judgment, and resurrection, suggests the end of the Christian age, the end of human history as we know it. The Bible, however, teaches that eschatology is not about the end of time. It's not about the end of the Christian age. It is, in fact, about the end of the Old Covenant world of Israel, which had come to symbolize and epitomize the death of Adam. Now, I shared with you in my last segment, Isaiah chapter 65. This passage very clearly sets forth covenant eschatology. It is about the new heaven and the new earth. 2 Peter 3, Revelation chapter 21 is drawn directly from Isaiah. But Isaiah predicted that this new creation would come when the Lord God killed Old Covenant Israel. Now watch this. In verses 17 to 19, in describing the destruction of the old creation, God said it will not be remembered anymore. Now the word remembered there means something to you and to me in the modern parlance, but in the Bible, the word remembrance and remember very often, in fact, probably in the preponderant number of cases, carried with it a covenantal context and significance. In other words, sometimes God would say, I will remember the covenant that I made with Abraham. That meant that God is looking back to the covenant that he made and going to bring those covenant promises to fulfilled. Other times, such as Isaiah 65, when the Lord said he would no longer remember the old creation, it meant that that old creation, which was created and sustained through covenant, would now be invalid. It's another way of saying that the old covenant was a covenant heaven and earth. Notice with me Jeremiah chapter 3, 15 and 16. The Lord predicted the time, at the time of the restoration of Israel, by the way, when all 12 tribes would be regathered under Messiah in the last days. The Lord said they will no longer go up to Jerusalem. And the Ark of the Covenant would not be visited. It would not be rebuilt. And watch this. And it would not be remembered. What an incredible statement. The Ark of the Covenant would no longer be remembered. The old creation would no longer be remembered. Now look, this is not saying that the time would come in which the Ark of the Covenant or the old covenant, heaven and earth, would simply not be brought to mental recall. What it means is, based upon the word remember, is that the old covenant, which gave that Ark of the Covenant validity, that old covenant, which gave the new heaven and new earth validity and standing, would no longer be valid. And when would that be? The Lord God will slay you and call his people by a new name. Now I cover all of this material and a whole lot more in my formal written debate with Kurt Simmons. The book is entitled The End of Torah at the Cross, or AD 70. You can purchase the book on either one of my websites, eschatology.org or bibleprophecy.com. Mention that you saw the offer on YouTube or Facebook, and I will refund your shipping. This word remembered is critical. It was interesting during the debate. Kurt made the argument that no heaven and earth was ever referred to in a covenantal context. Well, Isaiah 65 certainly places the passing of heaven and earth in a covenant context. Kurt was simply wrong in denying that connection. Get a copy of this book. Hey, thanks for joining me for this morning's Morning Musings. For those of you able to attend, this weekend, April 19th through the 21st, I'm going to be in Virginia Beach, Virginia, at Berean Bible Church for a conference. I'm going to be speaking 3 times on John the Baptizer and his eschatological significance. Hey, come be with us if you can. Thanks again for joining me. We'll see you on the flip side.